Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Okay, it's time. I'm on my main account. I'm looking to take on the Chimera on the hardest form. So our clan has kind of beaten through all of the different levels so far. We're on Ultra Nightmare now. I took one for the team and did easy. Looked like Murray, what are you up to, fella? Murray did the same. Maybe he did it at the same time as me. I don't know. But anyway, I cleared easy out with my first key just to show you guys what it was all about. And then I've waited for the rest of the clan to basically get us down to Ultra Nightmare to see if I can do some big hits. Now, it's quite a puzzle. I actually am enjoying Chimera a lot so far because it's a challenge. You know, it's a challenge in terms of being able to deal with some trials whilst also bringing a team that can actually live, whilst also bringing a team that can actually do damage. And you do need to factor in a lot of stuff. In terms of what I'm seeing so far, I'm seeing a lot of Nekmothar, decrease attack, speed control, speed freak. I'm seeing Elva a lot. Lydia seems to be just kind of like MVP to get a couple of trials done whilst also bringing some cool buffs and debuffs. I'm seeing Newts, Acrisias, enemy max HP dudes, Marius a lot for enemy max HP as well. So it's similar type of champions, honestly. Every team's got a reviver in it, just about. Every team's got a couple of damage dealers if they want to do decent damage. If you're struggling to stay alive, though, one good damage dealer and then 4 supports could be the way to go as well. But it feels like if you're going for high damage, 2 damage dealers, 3 supports is the way. Making sure there's a revive, making sure there's a decrease attack, making sure there's speed control, and making sure there's either block debuffs or a way to resist a whole bunch of crap coming at you. So these are the type of key things I'm seeing over and over again. And honestly, what I'm looking to put into my team is, yeah, a bunch of what I've just spoken about. So let's go into what I'm thinking, which is this team here. So I recently pulled this Void legendary Feedy, Tilcrest, and I want to use him. So I think he's going to be pretty cool here. He's definitely going to be great for Hydra, but I think he could be good here as well. So why do I think him? He's going to give me increased resistance and Veil. Veil will activate one of the trials, which is cool. Increased resistance, I think, means that I don't need block debuffs. We'll see. We'll see if it works that way. But this skill also gives me a reduced cooldown on my team, which means that, you know, champions like Newt will just do more damage and we'll get more of the enemy max HP stuff away. And I'll be ready for my other debuffs and stuff quicker. So I think this is quite cool. His passive is totally irrelevant here. His A2 giving me block buffs against the enemy, plus decreased speed. Decreased speed is one of the required debuffs if you want to do high damage. Also, he is able to remove all buffs from all enemies. So against the Viper, this could be really strong as well. Gives me healing on his A1. Don't discount how important this is. We need to be topped up all the time. And then he's also got a big resistance aura, which goes nicely with his increased resistance buff. So I'm going to try and go resist heavy for most of the team. So Fighter here is kind of like first one. Lydia is giving me increased speed, so the reverse of what the other dude's doing. Plus to drop defense and weaken, and then strengthen is good. Lydia's also got poison sensitivity and block active skills, which help for some of the trial stuff, and a fear as well. So good stuff there. Got my 2 damage dealers in Acrisia and Newt. Newt is also giving me, I could go double Acrisia, which I think would do more damage, but Newt's a backup decrease attack. His counter attack, though, could be a problem in places, but having another decrease attack, I think, is important. He's obviously got the enemy max HP stuff going on. He's also good in terms of healing. He heals himself, which against the Ram, where you basically kill yourself, he heals a chunk as well. So maybe I can still do my enemy max HP stuff against the Ram. And then lastly, this is a bit of a wild card. But I wanted a reviver. I definitely need a reviver because the Ram kills you. Or you kill yourself over a duel or whatever. So I wanted a reviver, but I noticed in my team I'm lacking decrease attack. So I thought maybe it could be Uko as a good option. But I'm thinking Maud might actually be better because the decrease attack is an A1 75% chance. Has an 80% chance of placing increased attack on an ally with high attack as well. So we're going to get some damage boost going on for someone. But the decreased attack on an A1 is great. The A2 can also remove enemy buffs. So I've got a second chance of doing that on somebody. and gives me a big heal. And then the A3 is a revive the whole team vibe. So also, if no one's dead, I can just give my team like increased defense and stuff like that. So pretty good. She's also got this remove a random debuff from ally. So I don't have block debuffs, sorry, in the team. So I'm thinking this kind of like cleanse style ability could be good. Places continuous heal on the ally with the lowest HP. So I'm thinking her in a protection set could be pretty solid, but she might end up getting subbed out if it's not good enough. But yeah, I'm thinking protection set here on Fide. Honestly, maybe even here on Lydia as well. Like, that's how good protection set has become. It's super OP. In terms of blessings, I really want to get Brimstone out there consistently. So I'm probably going to have Brimstone on 2 champions to try and keep it on, because it's got a 4-turn cooldown. So if I do it on boss 1, as soon as he changes form, the blessing would be removed anyway. And I want it back on the next person or next enemy as soon as I can. So I'm thinking 2 champions with Brimstone could be good. 1 champion with a high star blessing with cruelty will be good. Albeit as soon as the form changes, all of that work you've done with cruelty goes away. So it's not brilliant, honestly. But then anyone with the high level blessing, if they're your damage dealer, I'm thinking just crushing rend and try and ignore as much defense as I can. So that's the idea. I'm going to go through some builds now and see what I can get done. But from what I'm seeing, most people are maxing out really at like 6 or 5 to 7 trials and just trying to cap damage rather than going super like trial heavy. So I did show this yesterday, and there was a few questions actually from my video yesterday, but the raid stages tool is now updated so we can see what's going on with the Chimera. We're on rotation 1 Ultra Nightmare. So if I want to hit resistance for my champs, I need to beat the accuracy of the enemy. Okay, so the highest accuracy is actually the Viper at 450, which means I'm going to need like 555 resistance on my guys. Now, with my champ having increased resistance, I think it's a 50%. Let me just check. 50%, yeah. So 50% more resistance. So basically, to be able to beat a 555, I need like, I guess what, 350, maybe more like 400, honestly. About between like 350 and 400 resistance per champion to be able to do it. I won't be able to do it on everybody. So I'm probably going to do it certainly on Maud so that she can just cleanse. Or I guess she will cleanse that off anyway, any debuffs. It's not as big a deal. But yeah, anyway, I'm thinking for most champions where they're not damage dealers, we're going to go for this number. And then for others, I'll kind of see how we get on. If you don't do it, it's not worth pushing for it at all. If you're not getting close to the number, it's literally not worth doing. Like, if I was to say, oh, I'll just punch up to like 300, I get my buff to 450. I mean, it's close that I might resist some stuff, but chances are like 95% of stuff will still go through. So unless you're going to go for it, there's no point. Like, if you're not going for it, don't go for it at all, basically. Don't go like half-assed on resistance. It's just not worth it. Same with accuracy as well. Anyone who's landing debuffs, I need to beat 450 resistance, which means I need 475 accuracy in my builds. So anyone who I want to do debuffs with, I need to hit the 475. Okay, so we're going to jump onto the optimizer here and start to do some builds. It is worth checking in-game. Before you start optimizing, it's worth just knowing what you've got, especially if you're going for tough builds. So for someone like a Feedy here, if I'm trying to punch up protection gear so that we protect his buffs, and he's got like 2 here. He's only got 2, but I don't really want them ripped off. Definitely not the Veil, so that gives me damage reduction. So I just want to make sure that I've got pieces that are already rolled. So for example, this one here, I'm not going to be building him for damage. I do need accuracy and resistance on him, so it's a lot of stats. So all I'll do is just roll up some pieces that look good, you know, to at least level 12, so that the optimizer can find them. And if you're not doing that, then you won't get the best out of your builds unless you do this type of thing. So you just want to be trying not to get these terrible rolls that I'm getting here, but on pieces that might have the right type of substats, like this one here. Don't want it to land on crit damage. Beautiful, loads of accuracy there. I'm just taking those ones up so that the optimizer is ready to use them. If I got a piece here that honestly is unlikely I'm going to use, no speed on it, HP based champions not that common, what I might do is just throw a rework on it and hope that I land something different to this. Hope that I land either like an accuracy or resistance one. It's better than it was because it's still usable, but it's actually still not great. I've got an accuracy one here. It's got crap substats, honestly, but it still might end up being the one that I need to use. So got a bit of speed in there. That's not terrible. We've got some options. At least the optimizer is getting some options of things it can use. So in terms of optimizing here, I'm going to go balance mode. We're going to go for sets and just give me 9 protection. And we're going to go stats. I want to be minimum 250 speed. I probably want him to be my fastest champion, actually, so that I can get increased resistance up. In configure, no, is it, where do I need to do this? Is it configure? Configure, yeah, so I'm going to tell it, because I haven't picked masteries yet, I'm going to tell it what masteries I'm going to have. So we're going to grab this, we're going to grab this, grab this. I think I'm going to go for the resistance tree for the main stat. So we're going to get some accuracy here, some resistance here, just so that it knows that's coming. And then for the battle, Chimera Ultra Nightmare. So I can tell it what I'm fighting, and then I can also tell it what buffs and stuff I've got on me. So I can say I've got increased resistance on me, and then that will help in terms of the optimizer knowing what stats I need. So aura, I'm also going to have a resistance aura, which is 80. So resistance, I'm going to tell it what I need, which was 555. I think that should now take into account what I've just put in on the other stats. We'll see. And then for accuracy, I needed 475, and let's optimize. Oh yeah, and then I need to tell it what else I want. So priority is going to be HP high, defense second. I don't need to say speed or resistance or accuracy because it's already finding those stats. So it's what else you're going to want after it's found those stats. Okay, I did a first try, didn't find anything. So what I've done is I've gone in and said, right, now make sure you include items that are on locked champions. I've also tweaked my speed down to 250. And I've said I've got glyphs for resistance and accuracy and a little bit for speed. So if we need to use glyphs, we can. And then we go into optimize and start. And okay, we start to find some builds. So what am I looking for here? You see the resistance is lower. That's because it's taking into account my aura, and it's taking into account that buff that I put as the kind of like battle setup. It's finding the speed that I changed to. I'll probably take the faster one, 288. And it's finding me a decent amount of survivability, which is kind of what I want. So this build here feels pretty solid. And what we're going to be doing is just taking from all of these guys. So in terms of builds, you need to make sure you're on your champion in game. I then say equip in game, and you'll see it goes into the fitting room for him. Hit the equip, and bam! Suddenly, BD is now wearing all of those pieces in one click, which is a really great update from Saf actually. So got that in. Now what I'll do is I'll go through and just add a ton of glyphs. I'll also look to just adapt any of the sort of changes that I need to do here. Like these boots, I probably would prefer them to be speed, albeit kind of quick anyway. Maybe I'm fine with it actually. Maybe I'm fine with it just to give me more health, because I do want a team that can actually stay alive. So yeah, I'm going to glyph and stuff, and that's going to be build 1 done, and I'm going to work my way through the different builds now and show you the results at the other end. Okay, it's taking me a while actually to get some builds together here, because it does drain your resources, like doing any of these big re-gears. Silver is in the dirt. I've got no ascension materials like this stuff left beyond like the base level 1 and 2. My speed glyphs are down to 0. Like basically it rinses a whole bunch of your stuff. I don't have any big resistance glyphs, any big accuracy glyphs left. It's very difficult to do this type of build, honestly. So I've got a Crizia in 6-piece Merciless with pretty healthy speed, like over 250 is what I'm after, 100% crit rate, and then obviously some stats. 300 odd resistance feels like it's going to be right, because I get the aura, makes me 380. We then get the 50% up. Should give me enough resistance, I think, to be strong enough to do the job. My newt here, I've taken Crushing Rend. We've got a lot of defense, obviously crit capped, 250 odd speed, enough accuracy to land his weaken and his decrease attack. My Maud, I decided to go with Maud for just speed and the right resistance. So I've gone fast, 327. The reason for that is I'm thinking, let's try and rotate through her passive as much as we can and try and get as many A1s as I can, basically. So I've ignored the kind of protection set on her. We've got resistance in the build. The only people really doing damage here is going to be the Atrisia and the Newt. Lydia, I've gone for 9-piece protection set. Again, just pumping stats really. Decent speed, enough accuracy. And then you saw the build on Feedy or whatever. Feedy, Fidey, Foe. FIFO, Fidey, Foe. We've got, again, pretty fast, very tanky. Should be able to deal with stuff. And just like basic resistancy type builds. Okay, then let's give this a run through, see what we can get done. So I'm going to go on auto. I've set it up to try and get decreased attack out straight away. Drop defense and weaken. We're going to obviously do enemy max HP whenever we can with the damage dealers. Got our block buffs out. We've got decreased speed on. I don't think there's any trials here, no. So it's just about doing damage. When we get to like Chimera turn 4 is when I will basically start to hold back on abilities. So you see we're resisting most stuff when resistance is up. I didn't resist over here, but she still just goes in and does an A1 anyway, which is a decent amount of damage. And yeah, as I say, I'm playing on auto, but I will just kind of, a bit like Hydra really, now and then I'll cut in and just do some work. So we've resisted everything, which is good when the resistance is up. So that's what I wanted to see. It's going to have one more rotation of abilities. I should get a decent amount of mine away anyway, so I'm just going to let it run. Cool, 800 odd Ks there for the Newt, which is nice. Decrease attack on. So at this point now, I'm just going to hold back on some of the stuff, because the next form, what is the next form? The dude that just duels you and nukes you into the ground. What I don't want to do is waste like my decrease attack here. I don't want to waste my drop defense and weaken if it's available. So I'm just like holding off abilities so that when we get to the next phase, we are good. I'll do the main enemy max HP stuff. So I still want damage to get in there. So we get the form, flip, down goes Feedy or Fidey, whatever the name is. Decrease attack goes on, but instantly comes off back at me. Of course it does. I forgot about that. That's going to happen again right now, is it? Do I resist the return? Okay, no, that's fine. We get our revive up. And then again, from here, we should be good to auto. So in this form, we get drop defense. And if I got drop defense and veil, I could start to do some stuff. So I can actually get that up. Just absolutely killed myself, of course. I've got fear on already. What do I actually need to do here? Damage the Chimera within 3 of its turns whilst it's under decreased defense and I'm on veil. Within 3. I think that's like right now. I think I'm going to lose this, but basically this would be the vibe if everyone was alive. Oh, it's actually nasty. Just killing myself with an A1. It's so brutal, man. Crikey. Absolutely brutal. So I'm going to have to come back to those trials. But obviously, I've got a team that can do the trials. I just need to plan it better for when I'm in it. Let's get people back up. Try and get myself back in the fight. Can kind of go full auto here now. Yeah, that's brutal, actually. So that second form, you kind of just got to hold back your damage. And I need to be better at getting ready for my abilities for that form. Then I think we kind of have to hold back damage there and try and gain the damage on the lion form, honestly. Decrease attack is back on. I might have bought the wrong Atrisia here. I've got 2 Atrisias. One's in a relentless set. I just see I get extra turns. I think I've got the wrong one on. but no biggie. We're still getting some decent damage. It's about to change again, so we're just going to hold off again on abilities. Try and get myself ready for what's coming next. What's the trials here? Increased defense on us when the enemy's on number 6 or more debuffs. I don't know if I can do that. I don't have leech. Damage the Chimera within 3 of its turns while your champions are under 5 buffs. Okay. God, 1 million per hit on that one. Beautiful. Damage is looking solid. So buffs, buffs, buffs. Don't know if I can even get enough buffs. Can't. Oh, she can't do that one when people are dead. Decrease attack out is good though. Maybe I just don't have enough buffs in this team, honestly, to even do that. Kind of want the decreased speed, but I also want these buffs. So yeah, so I'm going to be under 4. I can't get to a 5th with this squad, so that's going to be that trial in the dirt. This is the only one I can do, and even then, I don't have... I could put weaken on, it's already on. I think I just keep going with damage. Currently, 0 multipliers going on here, which is savage. I do have 5 buffs over here, so maybe we can get her doing a few hits. Does that count? Am I within the 3? I think I am. But the actual form is not hard to deal with at all. It's literally just, are we getting any damage away? You know, firstly, are we doing any trials, which I should be, but I'm obviously doing something wrong. I'm starting to get a bit here. Within 3, I think I might already be out. Damn, it's actually tough. Like, doing the trials side of things is tough. It really is. Like, there's a lot going on that you're trying to deal with, whilst also thinking, right, how do we actually get the trial stuff going? Put our resistance up. He's going to eat a bunch of stuff. Big heal. There's no point me now putting a decreased defense on him. Kind of going to save... I think I'm going to save the max HP, am I? No, I'll use it. Okay, form change. So we've done 47 mil on 21 turns. It's not bad damage, actually. And we're pretty well sustained. Probably got the hardest form coming next, though. And currently I've got 0 multipliers from trials. Like, I'm shockingly bad at trials right now. I reckon if I was going full auto, I'd have done better for trials. Clean the buffs off. Decrease speed constantly on, which is what we need. Heal us back up to full. My guys are reset so that we can get the enemy max HP stuff back nice and quick. Try and get decreased attack on. Didn't get it. Yeah, I will say, like, the ability to get my enemy max HP stuff back fast with this new dude is pretty strong. Still got a little bit of time before he changes form, so we can still keep smacking on the good ones. The healing we're getting from the A1 of the new dude is really strong as well. Just thinking, is there anything I want here? Increases ally buffs, yeah. Keep going with this. So yeah, the Viper is going to do complete buff steal, which is going to steal my my counterattack, which is a bit of a nightmare. Kind of want to save that ability, the A3 for that. I'm going to throw increased resistance on. I'm not sure if that works for the Viper or not, honestly, but we'll see. The Viper's got the highest accuracy from everyone that we're up against here. Going to save the A2 now. Does he steal everything anyway? I don't know if it's resistible or not. It is resistible. We've resisted probably the worst ability in the game, plus a whole bunch of debuffs. That's great. Let's get the decreased attack on first. Love it. Now we're in good shape. Decreased speed on. Okay, feeling good here, actually. So this is the final form to kind of show you guys, and then I can just let it roll. Is there anything else I can do here? I can block active skills. I can do sensitivity. I've got decreased speed on, so I should get some trials done here, surely. Let's do block active skills. So we've got a whole bunch of the different trial things active, I believe. Can we actually do a trial? We got one. Let's go. Right. We're in the game, people. Come on. Hardest boss. We're actually getting some stuff done. Only one so far, though. What's the other one here? Damage whilst block active skills on. Damage with poison while it's on. Okay, I don't have a poison, so I'm not ready at that one. And what did the other trial turn into? Damage the Chimera with a single skill while your champions are under increased attack and block debuffs. Don't have block debuffs in this team, so I can't do that. So yeah, my trials are going to be very limited here. But yeah, pretty good. I mean, for Ultra Nightmare, I'm actually pleased with how well I'm staying alive, honestly. The only one that's really caused me any problems is that Ram, who I've not seen anyone do a run where they don't die. So I'm interested if people have found a way to deal with that, or when people find a way to deal with that. It's the only part to me which feels very overtuned and like, you know, impossible to kind of get through. Something's changed here as well. Damage whilst it's under block. I don't have a burn, block buffs and burn. So yeah, it's really tricky actually to bring enough skill set to be able to deal with these different things. But I actually do find it's fun. I like the challenge of it. It's going to change fairly soon. We're going to try and get a few more whacks away first. If Maud gets a turn, she's not going to get a turn before the others, which is a shame because she would have cleaned all this nastiness off. But yeah, currently 813,000 points. There is a thing as well, like the multipliers, your points don't just automatically multiply. It's at the point where you make it happen, which is interesting. But yeah, the synergy between Maud and Feedy, I actually really like it. It's a form change. Okay, so I'm going to let this run through now till the end and then bring you guys in for the big reveal of the final damage. Well, it's safe to say I totally sucked at the trial part, but actually we've ramped up some pretty solid damage here in my first kind of like effort at a Ultra Nightmare hits. Quite happy with it actually. 147 mil damage so far. We're on the final form, so no risk of dying at this point. It's just how many more enemy max HP hits can I get away? Really pleased actually with Maud and Feedy kind of like combo. You know, in my head I was like, what do I need from a team? And I felt like they were the right like duo, but yeah, they've done a great job for me actually. So pretty pleased with that. Lydia I think is just like top tier for this fight. So good for this fight. Bringing so much. Shame that I'm going to have my reset right before he's gone, so we're going to save that for one turn. But it's not much time now to get my damage away. Looks like it's going to be about a 150 mil hits, which is not bad at all. Cranked past the 150. So have a go at that again. Bit of extra turn. Yes, Acrisia, this is the way. Beautiful. Newt having a Bosch, 158. Any sort of turn meter we can get is going to be lovely at this point. 159.7. We might just squeeze 160. We do. Nice. 160 mil. 1.9 million. A billion, sorry, clash points. That's a keeper. Where's the damage? Acrisia, 88 versus Newt, 64. Interesting. I could switch to a second Acrisia, but I do like Newt's ability to have a backup decrease attack for me. Bit of damage from Maud, that's because of the Brimstone there. Pretty pleased with that. Pretty pleased with that. Keep the result. If I hadn't already done, I've got a few eyeballs, thanks. If I hadn't already done the easy hit, where would that have landed me? So I've done... Don't know if it's going to show up yet. It's normally a bit laggy for this stuff. So far, I've done how much? I've done like a 340 million amount of points because of my easy hit. So I'll be in like the 2 billions overall. But yeah, if I hadn't done that, maybe, you know, chalking up to... Maybe I would make the 3.2 billion, but honestly, it is tough. Couple of gems as well. There you go. Pretty pleased with that. Anyway, Chimera, how are you finding it? Personally, I'm actually enjoying it a lot. But it is challenging, and it's definitely for like Ultra Nightmare stuff. It's definitely end game builds to get that done. Anyway, been Hell Hades. See you in the next one.